Welcome to the Queens on Decks, where I interview female DJs from around the world. I am Michelle Miller, your host of the Royal Queens Rising podcast. We share our inspiring stories and secrets to our success.
How's everybody doing? I'm DJ RunDat, the host of the Queens on Deck show, where I interview female DJs from around the world. I'm so excited for our guest today, DJ Rachel. And if you stay to the end, I have a special gift for you, so don't leave. So Rachel, please tell us a little bit about you and how you got into DJing.
So first, thank you so much for having me on here. It's always so great to chat with you. And I love everything you're doing for the DJ community, connecting, the female DJ community. You're always posting great positive content. So thank you so much for having me. So I'm DJ Rachel, for those of you who don't know, and I am a mobile DJ based out of Connecticut. I've been doing the DJ thing for about, I want to say probably or almost like 18 years now. It's just been so long. Believe it or not, I actually never wanted to be a DJ. Some people may have heard this story, so I'll just keep it really, really quick. My brother's a DJ, and that was kind of like his first job. And as little sister, obviously I tagged along, I dug in his CD collection and just kind of, watched from a distance, but I never aspired to be a DJ. So one morning, there was a medical emergency in my household, and my brother had a wedding that day. Like, I can't be worse than nothing. So I asked my dad to help me pack up some of his stuff. Let's just see what we can do for these people. So I showed up. They were completely distraught, out of their minds, upset. Where's our DJ? What's going on? And I said, listen, I'm going to do the best I can for you. To this day, probably one of the most stressful days of my entire life. I made it through it. And I said, if I could do this, I can literally do anything. Like talk about being thrown to the wolves, right? A wedding out of all events to help cover. And then I just started building a client base kind of by accident. And then as he bought new gear, I would inherit his old gear. And then I just kind of built this random business that I had no intention on ever having to begin with. So here we are 18 years later, running a small solo op out of Connecticut. So.
Wow, that is incredible. It's always so fascinating to hear how we got into this. I just love hearing all the stories. So thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I mean, now your name, I think a lot of people know who DJ Rachel is. You're really well known within our online community, and you bring a lot of value to everyone. And I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate you putting yourself out there and all the content you put out on video. Your YouTube gig logs are amazing. I would love if you could just talk a little bit about that. I was inspired by you. And I was going to DJ a community event, and I was like, okay, I need to film like me loading the gear at the studio, and I can set up my little tripod and my phone. And then I was driving down the little road to the event, and I was like filming, and then bam, my daughter called, and I was like, yeah, this isn't working out. So what are some tips that tell us a little bit about that? Because there's a lot of filming that goes into that. And like, you must some extra time, like that's just adding like a whole nother job to what you're already doing, but you're doing amazing. So if you could talk into that would be great.
Sure. So let's just talk about the YouTube channel in general. So I actually started my YouTube channel probably like 8-9 years ago, like when YouTube first came out, and it just was as a user consuming videos. I never had planned on making content. As I grew my DJ business, I used YouTube as one tool to get over some of the hurdles that I was facing. As a young female, I don't want to make this a whole gender thing, and, but there are some unique struggles that we experience as female DJs. So I constantly got berated of, do you actually know what you're doing? Do you know how to set up your own gear? Can you actually mix? And I just got tired of the insults, the put downs, the doubt. So I said, you know what? I'm going to show the world that I know what I'm doing and that I'm better than what they're giving me credit for. And I wanted to be completely transparent. So I kind of started 3 avenues on my channel. So I have a couple of, just mixes so people can kind of just see, hey, like she can actually mix, and I'm not claiming to be a turntablist or anything, but, I definitely can, keep a set going and throw a pretty good party. Then I started with the gig logs, because I got a lot of questions about what goes into these events. How do you do this? Why do you choose to do that? And then the third portion is the tutorials and the training content. I wanted to make content that I wish I had when I was trying to learn. And that's kind of the direction I took with this stuff. So every video I make is to help people out in a way that, if I'm shopping for something, what would I want to know? If I wanted to learn how to use this feature, what would I want to know? And I spend a lot of time also looking at other content creators and how they explain things. And then if there's something that wasn't clear or was missing, or I wish they would have elaborated a little bit more, I take that with me and kind of make my own version that's more complete and fitting for, again, what I would want to have seen if I was looking for training stuff online.
What would be like one tip on doing video logs? Like, what would be one thing you'd want to share?
Just get the phone on, just start recording and record as much as you can, and you can edit it later.
That's good advice. And one advice that I got from my husband, a big tip, because he's created a whole new business doing videography, so is to hold your phone sideways, horizontally.
Yes.
Content. That's like, for me, it was like step 1, just to retrain ourselves from being like this to like this. And getting a tripod. I have a little tripod. I bought it on the streets of New York, and it was like $5, or you can order them on Amazon, so you can hold your...
This right here is the best $20 I've ever spent. I got this selfie stick off of Amazon. So you can put your phone, landscape or horizontal. It opens up into a tripod, so you can put it down, and then it closes, and it can also be just a handle selfie stick, and it has a wireless Bluetooth remote, so I could put that here and start recording from a distance. Literally $20, best thing I've ever bought.
Cool. So we were talking before the interview about how you have put yourself through a DJ boot camp. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Sure. So obviously with all this downtime, just like everybody else, a lot of my events have been postponed and luckily rescheduled. I haven't lost any work yet, thank God. But obviously this month has been really slow, and next month doesn't look too great either. So I've been using my downtime to really just clean up my database, really focus on social media, different content. But what I also decided to do was this DJ boot camp. So some of you may have seen my Facebook Live video where I literally set up pretty much 90% of my gear out in the driveway and threw a block party for my entire street. Now, I had planned on doing that at nighttime, so that day, since I already had everything out, I did some general maintenance, clean my gear, touch up paint on some things, checking the condition of my wires and things like that. And then I decided to kind of put myself through this boot camp. And what I did is I thought of scenarios that I've heard other DJs go through, things that I've read through on forums. And I asked myself, if this were to happen, what would I do right now? And I actually timed myself doing some of these exercises to see if I knew what gear I needed, if I had the gear I needed to fix the problem, and even something like switching over to a backup system. How seamlessly could I do it? Was there any interruption to the audience? If my microphone went out, how could I get another one up and running real quick? Anything from a bad wire to bad batteries to a frequency channel issue. I ran myself through every what if I could possibly think of. And I said, now is the time to do it. And this way, if something were ever to happen in a real event, I now have that baseline training and can feel confident that, hey, I got this, or I got the wire for that, or I got the connector for this. So I put myself through like DJ drills out in my driveway for a couple of hours. And I also I encourage people to take this time and really, really dive in to your gear. There might be settings you've never checked out. Even something like OBS, a lot of people are trying to figure that out now with how to broadcast. People are buying a lot of iRig 2s and they're having some trouble with it. Folks, now's the time to literally hit every button, see what it does. People are like, how do you know what you know? Well, I hit a lot of buttons and I break a lot of stuff. And the only way you learn how to fix it is by rolling up your sleeves and trying it out. So I'm kind of a firm believer, you don't rise to the occasion, you sink to your level of training. So that's kind of what my DJ boot camp was about. It was about putting a little stress and heat on myself and say, hey, if something were to go bad, what would you do? I don't know if anybody saw this video, but I had my motherboard crash on my main DJ laptop in the middle of a nightclub. It was peak hour, it was midnight, we were bumping, I was killing it, and then all of a sudden I got blue screen of death. I had about 9 seconds of silence, and then I kind of went into, that survival mode. I'm like, okay, what am I do here? And then I remembered that I have Engine and I had a thumb drive of an older crate of club music. I hadn't updated my thumb drive in a little bit, so like the super new hits I didn't have on there. Shame on me. So I learned my lesson, but I literally flipped my switch on my MCX 8000 and I had music up and running in about 9 seconds, and we jammed out the rest of the night. But I realized I wasn't comfortable DJing that way. Did I survive? Yes. Did it feel good? Absolutely not. So I've also been taking this time to practice more with my standalone controller and be less reliant on virtual DJ, because if I don't have my laptop available, you got to figure it out, folks.
So there's so many ways to get connected, and I have the female DJ Facebook group, and there's different Facebook groups and forums, and I think it's just so important that now we stay connected and we stay in action, and we take this time to do those things that we've been putting off, or do those things that are really exciting, and just to keep our spirits up. Because I know for me, I'm so used to being able to go out and feel those vibes and energy and connect, and I'm not, I'm not able to do that in person, but I am able to do it online. And so I'm, doing a lot more of these shows and tuning in and networking with a lot of different DJs. And, what is one way that you are staying connected? So
I haven't gone live yet, other than that thing in my driveway, but first thing is I signed up for TikTok. I never, ever, ever thought I would be on TikTok. I am having so much fun. I already have like 150 followers or something. So it's like, it's building. It's a really good time. I've actually met some pretty random people on there, and it's been really cool. So I've connected through some people on TikTok. I am going to be planning a 90s set that I'm going to be going live maybe on Saturday. I'm hopefully going to be able to drop that. I've really reached out to a lot of friends. I've done a lot of Zoom meetings like this, just basic, FaceTime chat, just really reaching out, just saying, how the hell are you? I think those side conversations are just really important, and people are so desperate to find a sense of normalcy, and that's why I decided to go live in my driveway the other day. I never thought I would say I really enjoyed setting up my gear. Like, who wants to set up hundreds of pounds of gear? Like, I loved setup and takedown that day. Like, it felt good. It was like therapeutic for me. And I never thought I would say I enjoyed setup and breakdown, but I did.
That's hilarious. Yes, I love it. I love it. Yeah. So, live streaming has been really popular. I've been enjoying like what I call like club hopping on Instagram stories. That's all you see is just all these DJs. So you could go from DJ to DJ. And I actually was sore from dancing so hard the other day in my room. It's
like a once in a lifetime opportunity, right? Because we're all working. You never have time to check out other people's, work and kind of what they do. So now is the time. And it's so cool to see people in their element doing what they love simply because they want to do it. That's it's about. So I just have one more little PSA. I did a little video on this, but I think I want to reiterate this, folks. Now more than ever, we need to support the DJ companies and vendors that allow us to shine and be our best each and every event. They need us now so that when we need them later, they're still able to provide these services and resources that we've come to love and rely on. So I know finances are really tight and people are struggling right now, but you know, I've obviously found some ways to be a little smarter with spending. You know, people aren't buying as many, you know, $7 Starbucks. You know, we're not using as much money on gas. So any money you can kind of put together just to keep your subscriptions on is a good move, in my opinion, if you can do it. Obviously, we have to prioritize, you know, survival before, you know, amenities, but I think it's important to keep supporting these people. So like I said, so that when we're out of this, you can just continue like you didn't miss a beat. They need us now, just how we need them later. So
Yeah, absolutely. And that actually, we could talk forever, so we're going to keep going. So I talk to a lot of DJs from around the world, and one of the things that is their biggest challenge is equipment. And I know I've financed equipment before, and a lot of the companies do offer financing, and it's very low monthly payments, and you can finance for 48 months. And, you know I was looking forward to looking at all the gear. You had recommended that the shopping at Mobile Beat Las Vegas was off the hook, and I was waiting for that. And then unfortunately it got canceled, and I still do have shopping to do. So I'm glad you're bringing that up. It's definitely a time to support where you can. And yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. So it was really great to connect with you on the show here today. And everybody tuning in, I have a special gift for you. I wrote a book. It's called How to Start a DJ Business, the free version, a link. I'll be posting that in the bottom. And for anybody that would love to connect and get some support, or, you know, be on the show, please reach out to me. And Rachel's always there too to give advice on anything technical and more. She's super creative, super generous, and really appreciate you being here.
thank you so much. As you said, it was so great to connect and just chat. And I hope we could do this again soon, or maybe even get some other people in on this. And it was just so great. And anyone, if you have any questions, you can email me at djrachel@me.com. I would love some more TikTok followers and to follow some more content. So my TikTok name or handle is DJ Rachel. So pretty simple. Instagram, same thing, DJ Rachel. You know, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more tutorials. I want to be dropping that DJ Bootcamp video coming up. So just, yeah, let's just stay connected and have a good time. And as they say, we're in this together, folks, just one day at a time, and things will be back to normal.
You know, we're all going to come out of here just stronger than before. Like, what is it? Kelly Clarkson said, what doesn't kill you kills you makes you
That's right.
stronger. All right, cool. So is there anything else before we go?
That's it. I promise. No more surprises.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Well, thank you again. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Thank you so much. Be safe. Stay well, everybody. And let's stay connected.
Go to my website to claim your free gift, a digital copy of my best-selling book, How to Start a DJ Business. www.djrundat.com. Follow me on all social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at DJ RunDat. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. To learn how you can book me or work with me, go to my website or email me at michelle@djrundat.com.